Hello everyone and welcome to the Melek'le Yemek channel. Today I'm sharing a recipe for homemade Labneh cheese. This isn't just any cheese, it's so versatile that you can use it in desserts like cheesecakes, as a spread for your breakfast with simit, or even as a side for other dishes. I'm confident you'll absolutely love this recipe, so let's dive right in. To start, we'll need 1 liter of milk. You can use store-bought milk or farm fresh milk, whichever you prefer or have available. Either will work perfectly fine for this recipe. To the milk, we'll add 2 key ingredients: 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 2 heaping tablespoons of yogurt. I'm using homemade yogurt, but you can easily use store-bought yogurt as well. It's entirely up to you. Now I'll add 200 grams of clotted cream to the mixture. If you don't have clotted cream, you can use store-bought cooking cream instead. Alternatively, if you're like me and collect cream from boiled milk, you can use that. In this recipe, I'm using cream I had saved earlier, which I thawed and softened before adding to the milk. Once all the ingredients are combined, give it a good mix to ensure everything is well incorporated. Now place the pot on the stove over medium heat and stir occasionally. As it heats up, leave it to do its thing. Because we're only using 1 liter of milk, it'll boil fairly quickly. When the milk starts to curdle, you'll notice the whey separating. It'll have a greenish tint. This is exactly what we want because it means the labneh is forming. The curds are ready when you see the whey and solids clearly separating. At this stage, take the pot off the stove. Now, here's an important tip. Don't strain the cheese while it's hot. Because of the cream, if you strain it immediately, much of the good fats will get washed away into the whey, which we don't want. Instead, you can do one of 2 things. Let it cool at room temperature for a few hours, place it in the fridge overnight to rest and cool completely. Cooling helps the cream stick to the cheese, ensuring a richer texture. Once cooled, we can strain the cheese. Take your time and let the whey drain thoroughly. To the strained cheese, I like to add 1 teaspoon of salt for flavor, but if you're planning to use it in desserts or for babies, you can skip the salt entirely. Since I'm making this batch for breakfast, I added just a touch of salt. It enhances the flavor but keeps it naturally creamy and slightly sweet. Now transfer the strained cheese into a smaller container. Let it rest at room temperature for a little while. After that, we'll blend it to achieve the texture we want. For a chunkier, more rustic texture, you can knead it by hand with a spoon or fork. But if you're after a smooth, cream cheese-like consistency, which I prefer, blend it until silky. I blended mine thoroughly to get that perfect spreadable texture. At this stage, you can adjust the consistency depending on your preference. If you want it to be softer or creamier, you can loosen it by adding a few options. Some of the whey you saved earlier. Extra cream. Split the 200 grams, use 100 grams during cooking and the other 100 grams while blending. 2 to 3 tablespoons of yogurt for a slightly tangier taste. Personally, I like it to be smooth and creamy but still firm enough to spread easily. Keep in mind that the cheese will thicken further after resting, so don't worry if it feels a bit loose right after blending. Once blended, I transferred it to a serving dish and paired it with a simit to show you the texture. If you prefer chunkier cheese, simply blend it less or not at all. It's all about your preference. Now let's talk about how versatile this cheese is. You can use it in cheesecakes, tiramisu, cake fillings, cinnamon rolls. Mix it with powdered sugar for a delicious spread. If you're making this for desserts, you might want to leave it slightly thicker since it will loosen when mixed with other ingredients. For breakfast, this softer, creamier consistency is just perfect. And that's it. As you can see, it's so simple to make and incredibly delicious. Thank you so much for watching today's recipe. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more amazing recipes. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye for now and take care.